It's all about the next James Bond. Aaron Taylor-Johnson hopes and doubt as new big contender emerges in race to play 007. Aaron Taylor-Johnson is facing new competition in the race to become the next James Bond, according to recent data. Although he was previously a front-runner after rumours suggested he was offered the role, the producers of the franchise quickly dismissed the reports. Since then, Taylor-Johnson's odds have decreased, with Callum Turner now emerging as a strong contender, shortening from 8-1 to 4-1. Turner's rise, with speculation about his girlfriend, Dua Lipa, potentially becoming a Bond girl.
How's he done that? Pulled that off?
Meanwhile, other actors like James Norton, Aaron Pierre and Henry Cavill remain in the mix. Despite the delay in naming Daniel Craig's successor, Amazon MGM's Jennifer Silk emphasised that the collaboration with Eon Productions remains strong and that the global audience is willing to be patient as they seek the right fit for the role. It appears that the next Bond announcement may still be some time away. John, I'm not the biggest Bond fan, but in terms of taking our time, it's the right thing to do in that franchise because they need to get it right. They don't want to go through actors after each film or anything like that. It's something that it's got longevity in terms of committing to the one actor for at least a decade. That's the way it's been for most of the actors that have played the role, and it's no any different, John, to obviously this situation as well. Callum Turner,
I just can't believe he's
from Fantastic Beasts.
fucking Dua Lipa.
The only living boy in New York was the other one that stood out to me. I don't really know too much about the guy, but one thing I will say is I would rather they went for, I'm not saying he's a complete unknown, but in terms of Henry Cavill, I don't want to see his Bond now.
No, he's too oversaturated,
Yeah, and I think the other one
he's too old now as well. He's like 42.
Your man from Hobbs and Shaw, I'm blanking on his name.
Idris Elba.
Idris, yeah. He was the other name that's getting bandied about maybe 2-3 years ago.
He's like 50 odds now.
Yeah,
it's done.
It's
no
done.
Way.
We need to move on, and this is a kind of.
You need a young-ish.
I mean, we're talking about Aaron Taylor-Johnson, and obviously, your man Callum
same
Turner,
age, yeah,
same age.
But
almost,
the difference between Callum Turner and Aaron Taylor-Johnson is Aaron Taylor-Johnson is massively saturated. He's a far bigger name, household name than Callum Turner. Callum Turner's done about 12, 15 films at most in his career. I think Johnson's done double that.
I think
one and a half
Taylor
times
Johnson's
films
John
minimum
as well. You know,
you're
looking for an actor that's going to commit to that role for the next 10 years or so.
Yeah, and I almost don't want Aaron to commit because he's such a brilliant actor and a versatile actor, multi-genre actor. I don't want him to commit to Bond for 10 years because then he's stuck having to just be James Bond and it's 2-3 year gaps between the films.
And he probably doesn't want that either. And I would say Cavill's probably in the same boat after sort of, you know, that whole bad experience with playing Superman, John.
Cavill's a weird one, Stephen, for me. And by the way, you're right. Your name, if you're still here, Tony Hopkins, Hannibal Lecter. Totally forgot about Hannibal Lecter. But again, that's horror, but it's more psychological. That's how they get around it. It's such a good performance. How could you throw shade at Tony Hopkins when he's delivering that performance?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Cavill's a weird one for me because even though he played Superman, he's been in some amount of shit since then. He's not I don't think he's a top tier
actor. Yeah.
I think he's a good actor. He's a really likeable guy. Yeah. I like him. But he's not had I don't think he's fulfilled his potential in his career.
I'm thinking Man from U.N.C.L.E. That wasn't really groundbreaking, was it?
The fucking Witcher.
The
Enola Holmes.
Mission Impossible.
I liked him in
well.
Mission Impossible. He played the sort of villainous turn.
I think that's the sort of roles he should be doing. I'm not saying villainous. I just mean he seems to. I'm not saying he's not a lead man. He certainly is a lead man when he wants to be, but I think his better performances is when the limelight's not on him or his character, where he's playing the supporting role. You get the best out of him. And I do agree, John. I don't think he is the best actor of all the names that have been bandied about.
Well, Aaron Taylor-Johnson, for instance, is head and shoulders above Henry Cavill as an actor.
Yeah.
The trouble with Aaron is, and as well, Daniel Craig get absolute dog's abuse, man. First for being blonde and having blue eyes. Maybe just not the blue eyes, but blonde. And his lack of height. It's like 5'8", 5'10", 5'11", 179 centimetres, I think he is, Daniel. But the same size as Aaron Taylor-Johnson.
Yep.
He's going to encounter the same issue as Daniel Craig. He's an unconventional looking Bond. He's kind of gruff. He's got the beard. He can shave that, to be fair. But he's not immediately who I would envisage as being James Bond. Whereas Callum Turner, a lot taller, according to Google anyway.
Yeah.
6'2", 187 centimetres. He's not, I don't think he's, again, I mean, he doesn't even strike me as James Bond. He just doesn't. When I look at Bond, there's a certain look I see. And I think a Connery, I think a Moore. That's the look.
Yeah, John, who was the Scottish actor we were? He was the one that you thought.
God, yeah. Oh, was it Sam? Fuck, I'm blanking his name. I've got a list of potential Bonds. I'm sure he'll be on the list.
Your man from.
Are you talking about Richard Madden?
Richard Madden.
He's got that grizzled look, but again, he's.
Are you talking about that look though?
Yeah. It's just that look. Yeah. It's sort of gentlemanly when he polishes up, but when he's not in a tuxedo and he's out in the job, he's just got a gruffness. There's a weatheredness to him. To be fair, Taylor Johnson's got that, but he's going to get fucking shade because of his lack of stature. They've just got an absolute hard on Bond fans from being over 6 foot. And Daniel Craig got that as well, despite the fact that he lifts or something.
Well, one of the things I think Callum Turner has got in his
got
favour is that he's, well, apart from obviously the physical sort of presence of playing Bond, is that
the hair.
No, it's he can get into this fresh, John. And he can get in without being judged, and
he's slightly less known.
Exactly. And I think, you know, there'll be people out there that'll be saying that you've not seen any of his fucking films. I've seen a couple of his films.
I mean, I've seen
Fantastic Beasts.
Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah.
I've seen a few. He was in Green Room.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed Green Room. I thought it was a fucking unbelievably good horror, siege horror movie.
I think the question that most people will be asking is he can he sort of cope with being the lead man in a film? That's the thing, isn't it?
I think he could, yeah.
Aaron Taylor Johnson does both well.
Yeah.
John, what was the film? Was it Tenet? Aaron Taylor Johnson just popped up, and I was like, I didn't even know he was
played
fucking in this.
Sort of SAS
near the end of the film,
movie,
and he does that. You know, he was in Bullet Train as well.
It was unbelievable in Bullet Train.
And he can do that. He can turn his hand to being a really good supporting character.
Cena.
Yeah,
also Kick-Ass, played John Lennon. Fuck is that? It's fine by me.
Yeah.
There's so many great roles he's been in. He's such a versatile actor. I've no doubt in my mind Aaron could play Bond. But being selfish, I don't want him to play Bond because he's such a good actor.
Yeah.
Can play so many brilliant characters in a variety of different movies. I don't want him stuck to Bond for the next 10, 15 years. But what I will say is the age range they're looking at is perfect. 34, 35, mid-30s. By the time they get round to making the movie, probably 2-3 years, you'll be looking at mid to late 30s. 10 years, that's taking them up to 40, 50. That's the age range.
Yeah.
I think Connery was about 33, 34, 35 when he played Bond. You need to have a certain vintage. And it's why I've always laughed at suggestions of Tom Holland playing Bond. He's far too baby-faced. He's too fucking young. He's like 26.
He's too well known, John.
He's too well known, but he's too young as well. Stephen Bond has to, like I says, he's got to look. He's got to have lived. He's got to be a certain age. He can't be too young. You ain't got 24, 25-year-olds in the Secret Service as a top fucking agent.
Is a good sort of sweet spot for Bond, personally, and I think Aaron Taylor Johnson and Callum Turner fall into that. I wouldn't be averse to Callum Turner being. I think Callum Turner is obviously he's in his mid-30s, John, but he is a BAFTA. I think he's a BAFTA nominee. He's been nominated for a BAFTA for Best Actor.
Yeah.
So he's
clearly, he's clearly got something, Stephen, if they're looking at him. Sam Hune's too old, by the way. That was the name I was thinking about.
He doesn't look too old, though. 44. He does 44. Not look 44.
I don't want to say 44's too old, by the way. I'm just thinking when they actually get round to make the movie, he'll be knocking on 50. And it's a big commitment for someone knocking on 50 to play such a high-stake action kind of franchise for a decade. You're putting a lot of strain on your body. You need someone of this age. I mean, Aaron would be phenomenal. I'm not going to lie, he'd be phenomenal as Bond. And he'd probably be interested.
I think
might be a tad too young for a weary and weathered Bond. I don't know about that. Yeah, but again, you don't need to go the Craig route. You can do something different. Yeah. This could be an opportunity to rebuff the franchise again and go down a different route. Maybe a fresher face, different kind of Bond. What I will say, like your name has said, as long as it's not female, I completely agree. That's a whole other tangent I could get down in. And look, I've watched numerous other channels and sources explore this. And even female actors, it's fucking weird to say that, actresses, they admit themselves they don't want famous male roles. Why would you want that? Create a brilliant, original story that's designed for a woman.
Yep.
You don't have to keep hijacking every fucking franchise and try to force something in that doesn't work. His name's not fucking Jane or Jean. It's James. Barbara Broccoli has said that.
Yeah.
There ain't going to be a female Bond. It's going to be a male. Now, there may be some limits on where they go with it, maybe in terms of, I don't know, fucking has to be British or something, or at least portray a convincing British accent. But what was the other one? Sammy I'm fucking brutalising these names tonight. Reggae Jean Page.
Yeah.
I thought he looked great as Bond. I thought that would have been
We did do a breakdown about a year ago on this subject, John.
Killian, no.
I think his time's passed, to be honest with you.
Barry Keegan's too small, man.
Yeah.
He's too small. Reggae Jean Page is another one. Andrew Garfield again, too well known.
Too well known to
Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
Will Poulter's just, again, much like Callum Turner, unconventional looking. I don't want to say he's ugly because he's pulled fucking Dua Lipa, so he's clearly got something. Lucky bastard.
That's like you're raging. Behind monsters.
Never fucking pulling Dua Lipa, so I'm not, no competition. I'm not worrying about that. But he's kind of got that sort of Barry Keegan, Will Poulter kind of look. He's kind of unconventional looking. He's not what you would see as like a traditional leading man.
Tannen
Egerton's too fucking
I think
small as well.
He's going to be
small, man.
He's going to be nominated for this, isn't he?
Fuck's sake, it'd be like Tom Hardy playing Bane. People will be like, you have to use permanent camera, low camera settings. You need to look up to make him look bigger.
Tilt it, yeah.
You know, women in heels would be bigger than him. It's ridiculous. Dev Patel, it's not going to happen, sadly. Too old.
Yeah.
Jacob Elordi, I mean, that'd be a shout.
Yeah, John, I wanted him. I think we had this conversation. I wanted him as Superman before, obviously, the casting was announced for Superman.
Yeah, big guy.
Yeah, he was a phenomenal actor.
Saltburn, fucking brilliant. Yeah, he's a brilliant actor.
Yeah.
Personality, Ood's charisma.
He's young as well, isn't he?
Yeah, he's too young, probably. That's the only issue, yeah.
But this is the thing. He's someone that probably, over the next 10 years, we could probably consider talking about him, because we get to decide who Bond is. But, I mean, he's obviously got the potential, in the future to be cast in that role. But I think it's just too early. Nah.
Irishman?
Nah.
Could do an accent. He could do it. Reggae Jean Page, I'm telling you, he's one that's up there for me.
Yeah.
He's got that sort of dashing handsomeness, can sport a suit, great actor. He's got the physique, he's got the age on his side. I think him, Callum Turner and Taylor, I think they're looking in the right range.
Yeah, I think they're
in terms of age and sort of profile.
John,
I agree with you, Steve, and obviously Barbara Broccoli. Patience is the key. Don't rush into it. This is a huge decision they're making for the future of the franchise. You need to get it right. And love or hate Daniel Craig, I think it was a great Bond. I really liked his Bond films in the main.
No.
I liked what he brought to the role. And I liked the fact that they're always looking to sort of, I don't know, freshen up what Bond is. I think the likes of the Bourne franchise and even maybe Mission Impossible, post Abrams and with Christopher McQuarrie, they've shook Bond and forced it to try and reimagine itself, because that's sort of womanizing old Bond of old. That's not going to fucking. It's just not going to happen.
What they did with Casino Royale was a brave step forward for the franchise when it came out. What was it, 2005 or 2006? I can't remember when it was. It was round about that time, wasn't it? And casting Daniel Craig in that role as well, I think, was a brave decision. And I think it has come on leaps and bounds from, obviously.
Stephen, that's shade, mate. You need to address that.
Sorry?
You need to address that.
All right, 20 years in the future.
Yeah, is this a time loop stream? Why does Stephen look like John from 20 years in the future? That's harsh. Stephen's only 13 years.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Hold on me.
Yeah, John, just what I was saying, in terms of Casino Royale, I just felt that it was a good step in the right direction. Moving away from the sort of Roger Moore womanising sort of spiv of a spy. It was definitely night and day. A lot more violence as well, as I recall, in that Casino Royale from what I've seen, previously in the old Bond films. And that's what they need to do again. They need to take that leap. I think just naming those sort of guys, the likes of Aaron Taylor-Johnson in the mix, is certainly...
It's not just Bond as well, it's the supporting cast. So it's your man who played Paddington, who I always blank the name of. Forget his name.
Yeah.
Ralph Fiennes, can't you see his fucking name?
Fiennes,
God, what's the other one? I always get her mixed up with Imelda Staunton. She was in Abdul and I. Victoria and Abdul. Why am I blanking out? Judi Dench.
Yeah.
I think she's in there. Getting that supporting cast right. Why am I blanking out? Ben. Fuck. I don't want to search it up. Ben something. He played. It's one of the letters, isn't it? Fucking Q or H or some shit like that. I'm not the biggest Bond fan. I have to state here. Ben Whishaw. Is it Ben Whishaw?
I can't remember.
But it's getting. I think it is Ben Whishaw. Getting the supporting castings right is just. That's every bit as important as Bond.
Yeah.
And they did a great job in the Craig franchise. I liked the Craig Bond. I thought he done a good job. It wasn't traditional Bond.
Craig Bond.
Craig Bond. I liked it, man. And when he came out the
Make a
water with
cracking
that
Craig
sort of,
Bond. Yeah.
came out the
You
water
really
with
think so?
imagine Stephen Coogan
Oh, wow.
playing fucking James Bond.
Yeah.
Oh my lord.
Bang! Blood dribbles down. Yep. I love that. I'd absolutely love that.
But look, man, time will tell who they cast. Aaron Taylor, I think, just personally, I wouldn't want to see him doing it. I think he would play a good Bond, but I don't want to see him doing it.
Think of those other roles that he'd miss out on
I know.
doing that by
I know.
commitment. I mean, I think he could handle
To be fair, 10
2-3
years.
films. Yeah.
He'd be
It's,
still like 47 when he's done.
yeah, still be younger than me. Yeah.
Yeah, and he
Right.
can go off and do other roles after that.
Yeah, 56 apparently. John, we're going to move on.
55, I'm not
But
56
if
yet.
you've got any views on that, folks, in terms of James Bond, who you'd like to see playing the role, drop in the comment section who you think it should be. Do you think it's any of the names we've bandied about, or have you got a name that you think that we've not mentioned could do the role? Let us know in the comment section, folks. But we're going to move on to our final topic.